Hello, wheelchair user to Everest Base Camp and Kilimanjaro Summit. I'm currently a wheelchair user because I needed 2 new hips. I've had 1 done so far and I'm getting the clips out this afternoon. I'll let you know how that goes tomorrow. Now, I did mention in the last video that I'd start showing you some of the kit that I've got, and we'll go through that in a minute. I am ex-US military. I was in the Air Force for 12 years and I was on a frontline squadron in Germany for a couple of years. So the equipment we had, which I'm sort of very familiar with, was designed really for us to use in a camp station squadron environment. You know, I wasn't infantry. You know, you're not going as a group to survive in the woods and the field and, do those sorts of assaults. We're in a more of a group setting. So things like the first aid that we did back in the 80s and the 90s, basically you keep someone breathing, you stop them bleeding, you get a paramedic, you get one of the medics over to you, and they go off to the med centre. That's what you do. Whereas if you're in the infantry, you've got to do a lot more to someone to get them onto a stretcher, to get them out there, to get them to the first aid post and onwards. So I'm used to some of it, I'm not used to other bits. So I do like kit. Kit is basically stuff. Anything you get issued was kit, and that's basically what I'm building up at the moment. So I've got a big rucksack, which I'll show you in an upcoming video. I need to drag it up the stairs and it's getting fairly heavy. My plan is to be able to do, so both of these routes are about 80 miles, 40 miles up, 40 miles down-ish, but they're both at higher altitude than anywhere in the UK. So I need to be able to carry more weight, greater distance at lower altitudes so that I can cope with higher altitudes. That's the plan. Year and a half to 2 years after my second hip operation is the sort of time scale I think is a realistic time scale for when I can get up these two. I'd love to be able to get up to Everest 2 years to the day of my first hip operation, but there we go. Right, so I have a big rucksack, and I'm also building up my Batman utility belt. So if you're somewhere, something happens, you slip and fall into a stream, your backpack's holding you under the water, you release the backpack, you swim to shore, your backpack's disappeared, right, I need to survive. I need heat and I need dry. So that's what I need to do. So I've got this, which I will go through individually. Here is my last defence emergency kit. It has a little notebook in the front. It's also where I keep my survival blankets and a sleeping bag. It will also be where I keep a small fire starting kit. As I say, just in case. This pouch is a bigger pouch, is what I'm thinking of my day pouch, which small first aid kit, snacks, drinks, you might have, instead of just drinking water all the time, there used to be these bottles, I can't remember what they were called, but it's basically like a super concentrate of like an orange or blackcurrant drink, and you can just squirt some of that in. That keeps you going. I'll also be keeping my splash map in there. Now this, I don't know if I'm able to do this while I'm holding this at the same time, probably not. But this is my, you're not able to read it because it's backward, but it's my walking stick to hiking poles, I think I call it. So this is the area that I live. It's sort of Leyland, Chorley, and over into the hills. So I've got that specially made. That's really good. These are made out of material. They're not paper. They can get wet. You can wash them in the washing machine. If you've been out on a walk and it's got muddy and wet and horrible, and all your pen marks on it, so you can clean that washing machine when you come home. It's absolutely fine. Better than paper maps. They dissolve. Plus, it means you've got to carry a waterproof pack. Then you've got to anyway. Next one on, I've got my little tin mug, my little camping mug. You have to have that on if ever you've watched the Carry On Camping from the 1970s, early 80s. That's really good. This thing here, I think it just came as part of the kit when I bought this and the strap. But that fits my little stainless steel flask perfectly. Stainless steel flask, you can boil water in them. They're not ideal because they're obviously insulated, so it takes a time. It does work. But what I've got here is an American style water can, and I'll show you why that is. The ones that we had, and again, you've got constant water supply, so there's never any issue. They were the plastic ones. So on the top, there's a big mug. So, if you're out in the field, which is farms or industrial units, things like that, there was always an urn going. You either have hot water, chuck a couple of tea bags in, or you can just get coffee, milk, some sugar, go and sit down and have a warm up. This one, the American style one, I think it is, that's aluminium. So that will warm water up really fast. Obviously, it's got a plastic can on top on, so you need to be careful of that. It also comes stacked in, if I can get this out without dropping everything, little mug, which is similar to the plastic ones that we used. But the reason I bought this particular one is because it has a little, I'll drop that, it has a little stand. So you can make a little fire, or with one of the other kits I've got, it's got a little burner in it. But this would do, if you don't have the full cook set, this would do to boil some water, you know, to purify it. I have purifying tablets in here anyway. But I thought that was really useful. You know, they're aluminium, so they really don't weigh a lot at all. So there we go. That's the. I'll sort that out in a minute. That's the basic carry kit. Like I said, that's what I would class as my emergency carry. You've lost your backpack, you've lost your tent, you've lost your main cook set. You still have fire lighting equipment. You have a small burner. You can survive. You can warm yourself up. You can get a hot drink. You've got plenty of bright orange coloured things, and you'd also have your phone with you. Hopefully that still works, so you can do some emergency signalling. Right, thank you. That's the end of this today's update. Now it's sponsor time, and this is me sponsoring me on my videos, because this is how I'm going to get myself up to these two places. Last year I lost 3.5 stone. I've not lost any this year. There's a lot going on, shall we say. But I have reversed my type 2 diabetes, and I'm keeping that off. My blood pressure is reduced nicely through drinking these drinks. And I help other people who had similar issues and other issues that are caused by the gut. Your gut health controls so much in your life. It's unbelievable. So I drink these. I help people. If you want to know more, get in touch. We'll have a chat. You know, I'm here to help people out. And that's basically changed my life. It got me to the point where I was eligible for my first operation. I get my second operation. I can start hiking. I can start dreaming. I never thought I'd ever go to the Himalayas. I never did. But I'm going to go. And I'm going to stand just there. Or Kilimanjaro. If you're not sure what Kilimanjaro is, why it's important, go and listen to an 80s song by a group called Toto Africa. All right. You take care. I'll catch you on next time. All right. Bye.